on the game, try and push this Burnley team back, try and quieten the crowd. And again, if results go for them elsewhere, for example, if Leeds are winning at Plymouth, that might just take a little bit away from Burnley. And if they can sense that and really go for the kill, then they could just do it. The odds are against them, but the form they're in and the way these fans are feeling, I'm sure they're as optimistic as anyone.
You've been in these situations, the final day of the season, when you need to get a result, but there is so much going on elsewhere. How difficult is it for players in these scenarios to just focus on their own job and not try and take in too much information, or is that information really crucial?
I think in the first 45 minutes, it's not important. I feel you concentrate on the game, you try and set out to how you're going to play to get the result. You do hear murmurings in the crowd and you try to ignore it, but once you get into half-time and you check the other results, then the second half is much of the same, so it's very, very difficult.
Burnley walk out at Turf Moor, where no side has beaten them this season, hoping for help 300 miles away down in Devon. Scott Parker's side trailing Leeds United significantly on goal difference in the race for the title as we enter the final 90 minutes of the season. 97 points, not enough to see them lead the way on the final day, yet the afternoon may end with Scott Parker's side as championship title winners. For Millwall, their entire season is on the line here today, and they're in need of help as well. 7 victories from 10 sees Alex Neil's side start 7th. Have they timed their run just right, or have they left it painfully late? Barring a freak result that even the Championship may not be able to provide, reality tells Millwall they have to be the first visiting team to win here this season and hope that one of either Bristol City or Coventry slip up. But they come here believing Burnley may be unbeaten in 32 games, but the last side to beat them were Millwall back in November. So let's take a look at the team. Scott Parker makes 2 changes from the side which started the 5-0 rout of QPR at Loftus Road last Saturday. James Trafford has the chance today to be the first goalkeeper in English League history to keep 30 clean sheets in a season. Marcus Edwards comes in for Luca Koleosho, whilst Zoe Fleming is ineligible to play for what now is his parent club, before Burnley's obligation to buy him from Millwall kicks in after today. So Ashley Barnes, who's won Burnley promotion 4 times, makes his very first start since rejoining in January with his contract up in the summer. As for Millwall, Alex Neil makes just the 1 alteration from the side that beat Swansea 1-0 at the Den last Saturday to give them a chance of the playoffs coming into this final day. 19-year-old goalkeeper George Evans making just his 4th senior appearance as he continues to fill in for the injured Lucas Jensen and Liam Roberts. The 1 change to the team sees George Honeyman come in for Luke Cundall. And Scott Parker's side end the season as champions. Really got the better of him this season, but Millwall managed to do so when the teams met exactly 6 months ago today. It is some atmosphere inside Turf Moor. Burnley looking to lift the 2nd-tier title for the 4th time in their history and for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. But Millwall and Alex Neil have got their eyes on the playoffs. It is a game which is so tantalisingly poised. Andrew Kitchen is our man in charge here. It is a glorious day in Lancashire. Josh Brownhill has had an incredible campaign, so many goals and so many important ones as well, Dave.
Absolutely. I think when Scott Parker came to the football club with such a turnover of players, he'd have been delighted to have someone like Josh Brownhill to lead the team, someone who knows the football club, and he's become a talisman. 16 goals, 6 assists this season, full of energy. He's been brilliant. In the opposition midfield as well, George Saville, another one full of experience, closing in on 400 championship appearances, played for the likes of Middlesbrough and Wolves, and that experience in the heart of that midfield. And he's forged such a wonderful partnership with Denora, and he's got that aggression in there, which will be really, really important this afternoon.
A win is all that Burnley can do, and hope that help at the other end of the country comes from Plymouth Argyle. Millwall need to win here, something no one has done at Turf Moor against Burnley this season, and then hope that either Coventry or Bristol City buckle under the pressure of the final day. Is it to be that familiar feeling of nearly but not quite enough for Millwall, or will their season live on beyond today? So much energy inside Turf Moor for this game. Millwall looking to show their aggression early on, but back for a free kick. And some turnaround for Millwall under Alex Neil. 17th and 5 points above the relegation zone when he took over in December. Defensively, they themselves have been so strong, as this club always seems to be. The first goal today, Dave, is going to be so important.
Absolutely. I think the first goal in the Championship will be crucial today. It'll just set the tone for the rest of the afternoon. But both teams will be desperate to get off to a good start. In particular, Millwall. I think if Burnley get that first goal, it's going to be so difficult for Millwall to come back into the game. So they'll be concentrating on not letting Burnley get too much on top of them early on.
Their first foray forwards here, but that one's going to skip through to George Evans. George Evans, a huge afternoon for him. Very limited experience at senior level, but Alex Neil says that on a day like today we will need our goalkeeper to make a couple of saves, and George Evans has demonstrated already that he can be that goalkeeper for us. Great atmosphere, I have to make that point again here inside Turf Moor. The noise coming from both ends. Millwall very vociferously backed here. Scott Parker delighted that they get to sign off for the season here at Turf Moor. Will these fans be celebrating a title success come the end of the afternoon? We will keep you across everything that goes on in the games that matter for these two teams, for what is very likely to be a thrilling afternoon. There's Josh Cullen. And this is why this final day is set to be so dramatic as it stands. So with all the games now kicked off, this is the way that it looks around the Championship. Burnley with a goal difference 13 inferior to Leeds United. That's why they have to better the result of Daniel Farke's side today. For Millwall, they have to find a way to clamber into the top six, and a chance for them now to come forward with Aziz, but his ball is quite easily cut out by Max Estev, who's been one of the standout players for Burnley this season. James Trafford just playing the game of cat and mouse here as Burnley build their way out from the back. Egan Riley happy to drive forwards, to step into the space, and manages to draw the foul and win the free kick. The challenge from Josh Coburn, who Millwall have been able to start in games recently.
Yeah, that impressive defensive record from Burnley is not just about one person. It's not just about James Trafford. The defence in front of him, the midfield boys as well, the protection they give and the way they work as a team. We saw that in the last night against QPR, where they worked so hard to get back into shape for the one moment. It's a clip which went viral over social media, but it's been a terrific team effort. And whilst the defence will get the plaudits, Scott Parker will know it's the rest of the team as well which plays the part.
Manages to break that one up, and looking to be the first side to strike this afternoon in this battle for the playoffs. Coburn nudges it inside, strike on the turn, and it's Estev who gets himself in the way. That one broken up, real intensity from both of these teams in the opening minutes. It is a game which is very much fitting the energy of a final day. We'll push forwards. Here's Coburn once again, looking to weave his way inside. Saw a brilliant quote this week from Ashley Barnes, who's been in perhaps somewhat of a reflective mood over the last few days with promotion secured, talking about the spirit, the character, the intensity of this Burnley team. And he said, it's not us against them, it's us against us, believing and driving ourselves every single day to work together as a team to get to where we want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. When you've got a squad like Burnley and the technical ability, you know that if you can perform at a level and as a team, then you're going to win games of football, and that's exactly what they've done. So concentrating on themselves is important. On the other side, Millwall will be delighted by the way they started this game, though. They've been on the front foot. They've been the one landing on those second balls in midfield. George Saville in particular picked up lots of loose balls. An opportunity just a moment ago where it was on for Josh Coburn just to set his teammate. He didn't, or sorry, it was on for Femi Aziz just to set Coburn. He didn't. Went for the shot himself and the chance went away, but Alex Neil will be happy with this start.
Brownhill just brushes it out to the far side to find Lucas Perez, who's had a really good run of games for Burnley as we've come into the end of the season. Here's Hannibal, who's been able to get into the side ahead of Josh Lauren in recent weeks. Cross swept in, seeking Ashley Barnes, and a bit of confident goalkeeping early on from the 19-year-old George Evans.
Yeah, that'll do him the world of good. That's such a good game against Swansea. And it's a dangerous ball in from that left-hand side from Perez. Good positioning from George Evans, good handling. That'll really settle him down in what is a huge game for the youngster.
Played a game on loan at Sutton United earlier this year for George Evans, but he's had to fill in with both Lucas Jensen and Liam Roberts, both out injured. There had been some talk this week that Liam Roberts might be available to play. But George Evans starts here today. Alex Neil has full trust in him. 4 successive starts for him. He's got clean sheets in his last 2 games as well, so that will help his confidence as well. Look at Millwall's defensive record over now the last 4 seasons. Ranked 6th this year, 6th last year, 5 last year and 4th the year before. It's always been the problems at the other end for them, isn't it, and finding the goals. But Mihajlo Ivanovic, they've got a player in recent weeks who's really stepped up to make a difference at the other end. So some goals going in already in the Championship this afternoon, and QPR taking the lead, and Luton, well, they're fighting for survival, aren't they? They need a result at the Hawthorns, but they've made a sticky start to the day, trailing by a goal to 0. Ball push forwards, and it's not a bad ball either. Evans comes out of his area to clear.
Yeah, good start and position from Evans, it really was. He was on the front foot, but also good defending from Kramer, I think it was. Got his body in front of Ashley Barnes. Saw the pass going in.
Here's Hannibal. Jayden Anthony, who's been in such fine form as Burnley kicked on in the push for promotion, and he looks to knock one back there, but Millwall with plenty of bodies back inside their box. How many times have people inside Turf Moor already today took a look at their phone, checked the apps, transistor radios possibly? I think the days are gone when we rely on them, but everybody just waiting to find out news from other games. It's been an absorbing race. It's gone down to the wire. Here's Edwards. Connor Roberts back with Marcus Edwards once again, back in the starting lineup today, having a new substitute at Loftus Road. Some win that for Burnley, wasn't it, last weekend? I think it's always the question, isn't there, once a promotion is sealed, do the players put their feet up, is the job done, and they go and win? 5 goals to 0, equaliser. Quick response from Luton at the Hawthorns. We're going to keep you across everything as it happens through the afternoon in the Championship. Neatly worked to Hannibal to have some room, and he strokes it out to this near side to find Edwards. He's looking to weave in and get himself half a yard. He's still going here, Marcus Edwards, and manages to ride the challenge of Honeyman as well. Now Cullen urged to shoot, quickly charged down. Now Cullen wants to feed it left. The cross comes in, and it's just wide. Did Ashley Barnes get a touch? I think the offside flag has gone up. Burnley moving the ball around with real purpose early on.
A really good football in and around that Millwall box, keeping the attack alive. And then they just get caught a little bit narrow, Millwall, and the ball's onto that left-hand side. Ashley Barnes is a good few yards offside. It's disappointing from him. It's a really important touch from George Evans, though. He didn't know that Barnes would be offside. But Burnley just starting to get on top, keeping the ball.
And here come Millwall. Ball played across the box, and it's pinballing around inside the Burnley penalty area. Forward that was led by Mihailo Ivanovic, but now Burnley looking to tear down the other end. Hannibal brushed out the way. Strong defending by Tristan Kramer, and the challenge deemed okay by the referee.
And the game really opened up there. Chance for Millwall at the other end. Ivanovic will be disappointed that he didn't find a teammate in the box.
Ball dropped forwards, and Coburn gets himself in behind. Esteve gets back to get himself goal side. Cross comes in, dangerous ball, Millwall lead! And it's Mihailo Ivanovic once again. Dream start for Alex Neil's side, and just look at those celebrations. Well, we said the first goal here today could be so crucial, and it goes to Millwall.
Well, the playoff dream is alive for Millwall. Fantastic hold-up play by Coburn. Running from midfield from Honeyman. The first touch is fantastic. Takes it past the Burnley defence and just puts it into a dangerous area. He's not sure who's going to be in there, but he would have had a thought that Ivanovic, the man in form, will be getting across the front of the defenders, and that's exactly what he did. Lovely finish at the front post. Terrific goal from Millwall.
The playoff dream is very much on for Alex Neil's team. The gauntlet of coming here and inflicting a first home defeat on Burnley was the challenge for Millwall today. They could not have made a better start, but now some defending for them to do it. Breaks in the box, and it's tucked away quite brilliantly by Josh Brownhill. Burnley respond immediately, and they're not giving up on their dream of the title. The final day, hey, just as Millwall got themselves in front, got themselves, as it stands, into the top six, Scott Parker's side summon a reply.
You have to laugh. The drama of the Championship delivers again and again. And Millwall will be so disappointed. Two players going for the same ball. That just means there's a space. And then it is a poor clearance from Jake Cooper. He can go either way, really. Hits it straight at Ashley Barnes. But then, once again, their talisman. He's the man who arrives on time at the perfect moment and delivers it into the side netting of the Millwall goal. Josh Brownhill, what a wonderful season he's having.
Goal number 17 of the season for Josh Brownhill, who sweeps one out to the far side as Burnley look to come forward again. We've got a game on our hands here, Dave. No doubt about that, as Anthony turns into the challenge. Lucas Pires. In comes the cross, it's nodded away. Some challenge that was, by the way, from Ashley Barnes as well. You tell him that his beloved Burnley aren't winning the title today. Ball swept out, and now a chance for Millwall to go back in front again. Ivanovic can't take his touch where he wanted it to go.
Yeah, this was a big chance as well. It's a fabulous ball across the front of that Burnley defence. And Ivanovic's first touch just lets him down at the vital moment. But I'm telling you now, these players out on that pitch, they will be gasping for air. It has been frantic. It has been like a basketball match, back and forth, so much on the line, and it's delivered.
You can imagine the Leeds fans down at Home Park would have been celebrating very shortly, hearing that Millwall were in front straight away. Burnley getting themselves back level. Huge frustration for Millwall. Now Marcus Edwards, he looks to cross. It goes behind for a Burnley corner. Very open game, which perhaps we weren't expecting.
It certainly has been. Marcus Edwards just backs up Sturge into his own box. Desperately doesn't want to allow him to come onto his left foot. He does well to recover back, and they've got a corner. Chance for everyone just to settle a minute.
So after those 2 goals, we're back to where we were. Burnley striking so swiftly after Mihajlo Ivanovic had given Millwall the lead here. It's a corner which is going to be worked short. Offside flag has gone up, and it's a wasted opportunity for Burnley.
Well, Alex Neil will be furious with what's just happened, though. They get the lead, which is so difficult to do against this Burnley team. Scott Parker has them so well organised, but Alex Neil will be disappointed how quickly they scored, but how avoidable it was. Burnley can often technically beat teams with the players they have. They can pick through defences, but a long ball that 2 of his defenders go for, and then a missed clearance. Really, really poor.
We said how important the first goal would be here today, but perhaps not the case. Millwall are unbeaten in the last 33 championship games when they have scored first, but they'll need to take all 3 surely here today, and they've got themselves a free kick after that challenge by Josh Cullen on George Honeyman. George Saville standing over this set piece. He scored the goal last weekend, which we will hope coming into this final date. Not a bad time for him to get his first goal since October 2023. Maxwell speaking this week about how good he is from set piece situations. Well, he's got a chance here to kick this ball into the Burnley box. First time here this afternoon, a chance for everyone to just take a breath or 2, but Saville sends this free kick in towards the back post, a header back across goal. And it will be a Millwall corner.
A terrific delivery from George Saville, right into a really difficult corridor for Burnley to defend, and it's Coburn who gets up early, just tries to head it back where it came from. Trafford wasn't sure what was behind him. Important touch.
Disappointment for James Trafford, who had the chance today to become the first ever goalkeeper in an EFL season to keep 30 clean sheets. Deep delivery once again, the header down and held on to well by Trafford. Millwall are making things happen at these set pieces.
Yeah, it's well watched by James Trafford, because it's a terrific header down into the ground, and then you're just hoping, if you're Millwall, there's players around it, can they just get a little touch on it?
Now Burnley come forwards, Evans commits himself and he judged it really well. Cannot take your eyes off this game. Big goal for Hull City down at Fratton Park. They lead. 5 teams battling to survive in the Championship today. And Hull City, well, they've made a good start there. As things stand, look what that does for them. It takes them up to 18th in the table. It plunges Luton into the bottom 3. Of course, that huge game between Stoke and Derby going on as well. Here our attention on the battle for the playoffs and Burnley's hope of lifting the title. And there we go, Burnley, it is on for you. Plymouth lead at home park, a Sam Byram own goal. As things stand, Burnley would end the season as champions. The final day is in full swing.
This league, it's incredible, isn't it? The amount of games with big consequences on them today, on the final day of the season, both ends of the table, the Championship delivers year after year.
8 minutes ago, Burnley were losing. Now as things stand, they're on for the title. Everybody looking at their phones. We're not even 20 minutes through this final day, and there is so much happening already. Millwall not happy. Femi Aziz penalised when he felt he was away there.
Yeah, there didn't look a lot in that. Femi Aziz on the front foot, just like Millwall have been all game, snapping into these tackles, gets the first touch. And there's not a lot in that. There is contact on Connor Roberts' left arm, but not enough. I think the Welsh right-back knows he's in a bit of trouble and goes down and gets the foul. But one team who is not bothered about what's happening down at Plymouth is Millwall. They've got their own things to worry about, and they're going about their business in the right way, barring that one moment which will be furious about.
And Millwall need the help to come. They need Preston to prevent Bristol City from victory. Of course, Coventry starting the day above Millwall in the table, but they're hosting Middlesbrough, who have playoff aspirations of their own, and of course Blackburn Rovers in the mix as well. So Millwall, I think we know what's coming here, and they've got plenty of players to try and pick out. Tristan Kramer does have a good long throw on him, but they've opted to work this one short to Honeyman instead. Kramer manages to dig out across the header, won by Ivanovic. Hannibal loose from him, manages to recover. And he's able to bring the ball outside the Burnley box as well, looking for a way out, and he's able to do just that. Well, there were plenty that felt that Leeds would very comfortably go and get the job done against the Plymouth side with nothing to play for. Plymouth showing that they're not on the beach just yet. Leeds are going to have to come back from behind. Sheffield United, of course, were toppled at Home Park a couple of weeks ago. Goals in the games involving Bristol City or Coventry. Tanganga is just lurking over his shoulder. Hannibal, now Barnes. Burnley have themselves a free kick.
This is the first time in the match that there's been a little bit of a lull, understandable after a frantic opening 20 minutes. Honeyman snapping into another tackle. Feels like he won the ball, but it's an opportunity for Burnley to put the ball into the box. I do expect both sets of players are just happy with the way the game's settled now, just to get your breath back after what would have been a really energy-draining start to the game.
Both teams came out swinging early in this game. Things have just started to calm. Perez sends it in. It's going to run all the way through, and let's hope that he'd be able to retrieve. He's get on the ball now, Backhill down the line, brilliantly executed to find Brownhill. Deep delivery from him, met by Anthony, cleared on the line. Burnley inches away from taking the lead.
Jake Cooper making amends for maybe that clearance earlier on. Instinctive defending from the central defender. Clever little back heel from Edwards. Good ball from Brownhill. And it's all but in. Burnley think they have scored. Jake Cooper has different ideas. Drops himself back to the line really quickly, senses the danger like all good defenders do. Really important block.
It was Jake Cooper who scored in Millwall's victory over Burnley exactly half a year ago today. Last time that Burnley were beaten. 32 matches. The run now stands at. If Burnley were to avoid defeat today, it would tie a record in the second tier, a record currently jointly shared by both Liverpool and Reading. Norwich running away with things at Carrow Road, as you just saw. Cardiff already a player down in that game, an early red card for them. Hannibal, well found by Esteve, but the challenge comes in from Saville. which Burnley so far have had 77% of the ball as Barnes whips it out to find Edwards. Roberts gets ahead of him. Connor Roberts, can he pick somebody out? He's got plenty to try and pick out, but he's cross-charged down. Egan Riley steps in. Only being encouraged forward by this Turf Moor crowd. Saville surrounded and he cedes possession, and the hit is a venomous one, tipped over the top by Evans. A difficult one for the keeper to deal with. Josh Brownhill looking to add to his remarkable season's tally.
Yeah, he's full of confidence, isn't he? It's a terrific strike, it really is. Really concentrate on hitting up on the ball, making it move in the air. Evans can take no chance. Although it's close to him, there's no way he can try and catch that ball. Really good hit. Solid save from Evans.
He's had to make some important interventions already today. And George Evans is Millwall now organised here ahead of this Burnley corner. Which will be taken by Lucas Pires. Sorting out to do for the referee. The whistle had just gone before that ball came in.
Yeah, lots going on inside the box. Cooper and Barnes, and then Denora and Hannibal. Straight away. Referee blows his whistle before the corner kick comes into the box.
Here comes the corner, and there's plenty going on inside the penalty area. Lucas Pires again looking to work it back onto his left foot. In comes the crosses. Nodded away to clear the penalty area, but will be retrieved by Cullen. In comes the cross, and nobody quite there to attack it for Burnley. It just went beyond Ashley Barnes.
Yeah, just mounting the pressure a little bit, Burnley now. As Anthony comes back in on that right foot. It's excellent defending on the back post from Sturge. Looking to see what's around him. Good talking between him and Evans to know they can let the ball run out of play.
That is news that will please Millwall ever so much. Preston have got themselves in front at Ashton Gate through Emil Rees. Bristol City starting the day in 5th position. Preston, all of those sides battling to survive. This is how it stands right now. Burnley would be champions. Millwall outside of the playoff places on goal difference. Just look at that. Coventry, Bristol City and Millwall all on 67 points. It was a head spinner of a day, the final day of the league season.
And Blackburn and Middlesbrough waiting in the wings as well.
Season's worth of effort all boiling down to today for so many teams. Burnley, well, they know they'll be playing Premier League football next season, but they want so badly to lift aloft the Championship trophy. Evans just steps across and shepherds it out of play. He's been brilliant in recent weeks, hasn't he, Jayden Anthony?
Yeah, another player who's got a lot of experience. End product's been very good. Nightmare for fullbacks. Tricky feet. The way he moves his body when he's on the ball, just to off-balance defenders. But he also does the work the other way as well, which is really important to Scott Parker.
And of course, got the best out of him at Bournemouth as well. Some job that he has done, as it has been by Alec Neil. Similarities have been made to the job he's done at Millwall as to the one that he did at Norwich when they had a charge up the table and ended up winning promotion to the Premier League 9 years ago. He said that the structure of the clubs, the budgets, so many things, so very different. Denore manages to get the ball half away and find Honeyman. And Josh Coburn.
There's brilliant tracking from Denora then. Josh Brownell made the run into the corner. Denora went with him. It's a lot of work for that midfield four in particular. When you play two up front, you have to make sure that as a four in midfield, you're really narrow. Don't let balls play through, and you have to track runners. It's so important. That's what they all do, working as a team together. It just means they've got an outlet, because Ivanovic will play as a 10 at times, but more often than not, he's up alongside Coburn. And that just means you have an out ball, which was really important for the goal. It was Coburn who made that run. Keeps that Burnley defence honest.
Steve, what a season he has had in every single game for Burnley this year, and was named in the Championship Team of the Season last weekend at the EFL Awards. Edwards into Roberts. Moving the ball around very nicely once again, but Roberts just can't quite find the ball across that he was hoping for.
Yeah, more good football from Burnley. They work the ball from that left-hand side really well into the space for Marcus Edwards. Overlapping run from Connor Roberts, but he'll be disappointed with the quality of his cross. He has much better technical ability in that, and that's where you can see the disappointment on his face and his body language. But once again, Burnley's football is very, very good. Hard for this Millwall backline to really cope with. They're doing a good job so far, though.
Burnley did have the chance today to also equal the all-time record for the fewest goals conceded in a league season. But that will not to be the case, as we see West Brom have gone 3-1 up now against Luton Town. It is looking desperate for them. They would finish in the final relegation spot as things stand. West Brom side who have nothing to play for. Looks as if Luton are on course for successive relegations. Here's Femi Aziz for Millwall. Honeyman. Ivanovic and Coburn both waiting on the edge of the Burnley box. Here's Aziz once more. They make it so difficult for you to play through, don't they, Burnley? They turn over possession and can launch their latest attack. Hannibal looking to thread one through. And cleared away. Plenty of room here for Roberts. Swept across by Egan Riley, dropped onto the toes of Anthony. He's faced up by Karama, works the ball nicely to find Hannibal. It's neatly worked by Burnley, and Brownhill finds himself on the edge of the area, but he has his pocket picked, and now Millwall can look to spring forward. Coburn. And Aziz. Now Sturge. thing that Millwall are going to have to do that no team has managed to do to Burnley this season is to become the first team to score 2 goals in a game against them. It's remarkable, really. Here's Kramer. Now, can he pick someone out? Coburn! Oh, how has he missed? A glorious chance. And Alex Neil's down on his knees. He can't believe it. If Millwall do not make the playoffs, Josh Coburn might just be reliving that moment over and over again.
Oh, it's a wonderful delivery from Kramer on that right-hand side, and it's the simplest of finishes. Just gets his foot pattern wrong at the vital moment. Not really in control of his body as he tries to stab it home with his left foot. It's a glaring miss, it really is.
And now will they pay an immediate price? Well, the offside flag has gone up. Well, they don't hardly ever give you chances, Burnley, and Josh Coburn. Well, they can take heart, Alex Neil and his team, from the fact they're creating opportunities, but you have to take those chances.
You do. He'll be devastated, he really will. Because he did so well in the build up to that chance. He ran the ball 40, 50, 60 yards up the pitch, came back out, kept it for his team. Then they could build an attack. And then he's found himself in between the posts, and he has to score. There's no question about that, but he'll be more disappointed than anyone else.
Here's Aziz, good footwork from him, fired towards goal.
They are really carrying an attack though, Millwall, and that's so important. Femi Aziz trying to come inside on his right foot, his weaker foot, has a swing at it. But Millwall have been brilliant, because Burnley, they keep the ball so well, so quick, they're passing, so incisive, and Millwall have to work so hard out of possession. They really do, just to try and control that Burnley attack. They're making good tackles, but then you need the energy when you win it back to try and go quickly when Burnley are out of shape, and they've managed to have those moments, but you have to take them.
Taking huge risk here as he steps back into his own penalty area. He's still got the ball and wins the free kick as well. You might just be told by Scott Parker to not do that again.
Feels like the stadium's still in shock a little bit from that chance. I think it was so open and obvious. Everyone thought that Millwall had taken the lead, and the Millwall fans have been fantastic in that away end.
The goal was at his mercy, and somehow, Josh Coburn was unable to put Millwall ahead. Edwards can't quite execute his pass, and Millwall, well, we've seen this from them a fair few times already today, and they're springing forward once again. Aziz, Coburn, Ivanovic, both waiting in the middle. Aziz's cross comes in, flicked away by Brownhill. Helped back towards goal by Honeyman. It might just break here. Lucas Perez steps in. And now the whistle will blow. Well, there's so much energy inside this stadium, but plenty of it nervous energy. These days, these games are just different, aren't they?
They certainly are. Once again, though, Millwall, Denora it is who wins a tackle on the edge of his box and drives forward, sets away Coburn on that left-hand side. They're just hoping the ball might bounce to someone in that Burnley box. Burnley managed to defend it. But these Burnley fans will be worried, but Millwall fans must be so proud at the way their team have approached this game. They don't look scared, they don't look overawed by the situation. They see it as a moment they need to seize.
They are an informed team, 7 victories in their last 10, and they are just one of 2 teams who have beaten Burnley this season. And they should be ahead here. Roberts. Marcus Edwards outside of him. And he finds him now, but the ball just didn't quite have the pace or the path it needed. Now Roberts across goal. Nobody there.
Linking up really well down that right-hand side. Marcus Edwards and Connor Roberts. Femi Aziz can't quite stay with the athleticism that Roberts is showing. Doesn't manage to get his head up, but just puts it into a really dangerous area, hoping that one of his teammates has gambled. They hadn't, and the chance goes away for Burnley.
Plymouth still leading against Leeds United. Those Plymouth fans will be very much enjoying the opportunity to prevent the team from winning the title. It'll be raucous down at Home Park, despite the fact that Plymouth know they'll be playing in League One next season. Tanganga, Hannibal stepping across and applying the pressure, but Tanganga manages to hold on to possession. Equaliser for Oxford at Swansea. Greg Lee with the goal. Issue here for Japhet Tanganga.
Yeah, ridiculous rule. Changed his shirt, but making him go off for it.
Neil, as you can see, with a word or two for the fourth official, Richie Watkins. So looks to push it forwards, but his pass cut out. Edwards for Burnley. Now Barnes does well to link up with Josh Brownhill. Now Connor Roberts, and he goes down inside the penalty area. Didn't look too much in it.
No, but Connor Roberts is giving Femi Aziz all sorts of problems. Femi Aziz put so much effort into this opening 42 minutes, but he's been asked time and time again to track back.
Clever flick on Coburn. Thought he was away, but the offside flag goes up.
See, Femi Aziz just tries to get his body across there. There's not a lot in it. It's not a penalty or a free kick, that's for sure. But Scott Parker will keep asking Connor Roberts, keep going and going. It's very difficult for Millwall's left-hand side to cope with both him and Marcus Edwards.
Ivanovic turns out and clips one out for Honeyman to chase. Hannibal will get there first.
He's not going to just clear his lines, is he?
Esteve into Cullen. He takes the ball so well in those tight situations. Bonds dropping deep to link the play. Roberts. Twisting, turning, very, very tight to the touchline, and now here's Sturge. He will want the throw. Millwall hoping to finish in the top six of the Championship for the first time since 2002. Big goal in the race for the playoffs. Jack Rodoni just before half-time. It's Coventry ahead. What news that Millwall wanted to hear. Coventry would move from a starting position coming into the day of 6, up into 5th. Bristol City behind at home to Preston. Millwall right on the edge of those playoff places, looking to pounce. 1 minute added on at the end of this first half. Here's Edwards, and it's still Edwards, and across comes George Saville. Well defended by Esteve. Lucas Pires. Used by Brownhill. I think this game is just going to play its way through to half-time.
Flown by, hasn't it, this opening half? One of the best 45 minutes of football I've seen this season. With how much is on the game, the manner it's been played, it's been fabulous.
Burnley are going to head down the tunnel with a spring in their step, because as things stand, they are on course to win the championship title. Josh Brownhill hauling them level so soon after Mihailo Ivanovic had put Millwall into a lead here. Right then, things were looking very good for them. Right now, they are just outside of the playoff places. Josh Coburn missing as good a chance as he could have ever dreamt of to score here today. Unable to convert from a yard out. It is a second half, not just here, but all around the championship, which is so fantastically poised. Half-time score at Turf Moor. It is Burnley 1, Millwall 1. There'll be some conclusion to the campaign here as everybody with something on the line puts everything in for these final 45 minutes. I think here there might just be synchronisation going on. Make sure that things try and kick off again at the same time, but it's quite difficult to do, isn't it? Because it's not just the game down at Plymouth, there's the playoff games as well, which of course so vital to Millwall. First half in which Burnley had 77% of the ball. Millwall won't mind too much. 5 games this season. They've had less than 30% of the ball, and they haven't been beaten in any of them. In fact, they've won 3 of them. They know how to be effective in the opposition with such a large share of possession. So one final check of the watch from referee Andrew Kitchen. As it stands, Millwall would miss out on the playoffs on goal difference. They are 3 behind Bristol City. Currently are in 6th position because of the way that the afternoon has unfolded so far. Now back underway. I mentioned there was a carnival atmosphere here at Turf Moor already. The job done for the season in terms of a return to the Premier League, but those fans hoping that a trophy will be lifted here later today. And just a reminder for you as well of the situation in the top 8 of the championship, only on 98 points, hoping that they can get to 100. So too are Leeds United. For Millwall, just look how close it is. Only a draw would be enough here today. If Bristol City were to lose by 5 or more goals, and I think we can safely say that won't happen at Ashton Gate against Preston. Had drama on final days when they've won the second-tier title before. As this football club only went to their bitter rivals Preston back in 1973. Preston were playing to stay up. Only needed just a point for the title. And made it as difficult as they could at Deepdale for Burnley. They narrowed the pitch, they drenched the midfield. Plenty of water went on it before the game, and Burnley had to come back from behind to get the point that they needed. Waldron putting himself into Burnley folklore with a volley from 25 yards to give them a famous day. Going into today as the underdogs in this 2-horse race for the title, but right now it will be their day. Donora pushes it forward. Femi Aziz takes a deflection. Millwall corner.
And Denora leading the charge in midfield, finds some space, just waiting for something to open up to him. Coburn's just kind of waiting in the middle, maybe could have made a run himself. Aziz doesn't have a lot on because Egan Riley's out there very quickly to close him down. But again, a positive start from Millwall.
The game at home park has only just now got underway for the second half, which is quite strange considering they got to half-time before we did here at Turf Moor. Millwall fans hoping. Crowded 6-yard box. Aziz, Josh Coburn all around James Trafford. In it comes, and it's headed away by Esteve. Anthony look to stride forwards here. Matching him stride for stride.
A powerful running by Anthony and Denora. Really taking Burnley up the pitch, taking a little bit of pressure off them.
Hannibal. He's going to have a go here, and it's a big deflection as it travels towards goal, and now Burnley will have themselves a corner.
Speculative from Hannibal. Doesn't really push it out of his feet, so it's difficult to try and generate that power. Jake Cooper can't take any chances, gets his head on it. And now he's going to have to defend this corner.
Hannibal, who got his first Burnley goal in the recent win here against Norwich's 35th appearance for the club. Looked in by Brownell, the header. It's a good distance away from the Millwall goal. Now Femi Aziz is going to have to wait for support to get around him. And it's starting to come now. Zach Sturge. Connor Roberts, with the angle on that pass, was just given the invitation to slide in and clear up for Burnley.
Yeah, it wasn't the best pass from Aziz. Sturge couldn't get there, but the run-in from a lot of Millwall players to get up with play, in particular Coburn and Ivanovic, they're in the box already waiting for the cross if it was to come.
Here comes the throw pass, met by Hannibal. He steps in once again. He is relentless, isn't he? And he's the man leading this Burnley charge forward. Anthony to his left, and he finds him as well. Jayden Anthony denied by George Evans. Didn't meet it with too much conviction. Now Barnes looking for goal, but his effort floats over the top.
Well, that was magical from Hannibal as he strided through that midfield, and it can be a little bit daunting when you know you've got options. Your decision-making has to be perfect. I didn't think that pass was on initially, but the weight of it was perfect, and really Anthony should do better once he's into that position. Mill will get back and defend it well, but fabulous football from Hannibal. The creativity he showed, the weight on his pass, the guile. He had a terrific game.
Scott Parker said about him recently that on a football pitch is exactly what you see. Infectious, he drives the team, he's so passionate, and the other players feed off it. Well, there's going to be scares for Millwall. There might be scares for Burnley as well. That is the nature of the final day. There'll be huge frustration for Millwall if this brilliant late season surge doesn't lead to anything for them. Back over recent seasons, and there's been a fair few near misses in terms of reaching the playoffs. Of course, they had that frustration 2 years ago, didn't they, when they took on Blackburn at home at the Den. They led 2-0, they led 3-1, and they started the day in 6, but somehow managed to lose 4-3 and fell out of the playoff places. Blackburn leading away at Sheffield United. Well, they're doing what they can to try and get themselves into the top 6, and as things stand, it would be enough to take them in.
Yeah, it's like no one spoke about Blackburn today, and all of a sudden they're in the top 6. Burnley fans won't be too happy about that.
I don't think they're going to give up the title, though, to allow Millwall to get in above them. As you say, Blackburn rarely spoken about in this battle. Perhaps He's just looking to cash in on a Sheffield United side who are preparing for the upcoming playoff games.
But what's brilliant about this game is still both teams need to win. Burnley fans will be expecting Leeds to get an equaliser down at Plymouth at some point, so they need to go and try and get that second goal. Millwall have to get the second goal if they want to end up in the playoffs. So we're going to see a dramatic, I have no doubt, finale to this game.
Watching on. Ashley Barnes looks to just thump that ball out and give Marcus Edwards something to chase. Away by Evans. Just calm things down. He finds Brownhill. Now Edwards able to turn, was looking to turn as soon as he knew the pass was coming. Can't quite make his pass, and Cooper can just hook it high and half away. Familiar theme followed from the first half as Lucas Pires drags his effort. Oh, he's proved a little dangerous there. Tanganga can't get distance on his header. Hannibal shaping to shoot. Hannibal! Just over the top. Well, he saw the opportunity and he wasn't too far away.
Yeah, he's been the standout player today. Spoke about his creativity. As soon as he shifts it onto that right foot, he only has one thing in his mind, and can he arc it into that far corner? He's ever so close to doing so.
Equaliser for Leeds United down at Home Park. Not the news that Scott Parker wanted to hear. News that he perhaps expected he would hear at some stage, but it means, as we are now, Burnley would have to win here. Willie Nonto with that Leeds goal, 8 minutes after half-time. Ball across and Barnes was almost there. Anthony denied by Evans.
Edge of your seat stuff for Millwall. Thankful to their young goalkeeper. Burnley do well to keep it alive. Barnes gets across his man and fortuitously drops out to Anthony, and he should do better, but George Evans still has to make the save, and he does so again.
A swinging pendulum of emotions on this final day. That news filtered into Turf Moor. I don't think we're at the stage of the game just yet, but Leeds equaliser, which, as you can see, takes them back to the top of the table. Perhaps welcome news from Millwall, because it means that Burnley will have to come out in search of a second goal, which might just give Millwall a few opportunities perhaps later in the game to exploit. That's poor from Tanganga. Anthony racing up to the edge of the area. Hannibal trying to force one through. Sees his effort blocked. The game allowed to go on. Honeyman pushes it out to the far side. Aziz. Ivanovic is up with him. Aziz takes a little nick. Held cleanly by Trafford. Game very open right now. Anthony. Sliding challenge from Kramer. It's Anthony who still has the ball. Jadon Anthony, one way, then the other, and then his cross charged down by George Saville.
Yeah, this is terrific defending from Saville. Thinks that Anthony's going to unleash on that right foot, but he doesn't sell himself completely. Manages to go back with the winger and getting a really important block. But at the moment, there's no midfield. It's just end-to-end. No bodies in that central area of the pitch. Fascinating watch for the neutral.
Two teams whose seasons have been built on such defensive strength, but it's a different type of day. And we're seeing a wide-open game at times here.
Reminds me of just a heavyweight boxing clash where you get into the final rounds and it's in the balance and both fighters are going for it. That's how this feels.
Burnley have had their chances in this second half to take the lead for the first time today. Millwall, as we've seen, when they win the ball back, looking dangerous as well. Corner comes in, which is flicked away at the front post. Anthony. Plenty of touches since half-time. Anthony with the ball across. Now Edwards, over the top it goes. Very presentable chance. Marcus Edwards left looking skywards.
Yeah, feels like the goal is coming from Burnley, and Anthony's been so dangerous in this second half. Just drifts past Kramer with ease, picks out his man, then Edwards will be so disappointed with his finish. He checks back onto his right foot, not his favoured foot, but really rash finish as he swipes at it, allowing Millwall to get back in and make that block.
Can Burnley capitalise on this period in the game? 5 attempts at goal from them. Only 13 minutes since half-time. Anthony, the option for a short corner. Brownhill is going to sweep it in, and it was put into an area where there were no Burnley players. Brownhill tries to just flick one around the corner, and it doesn't quite work out. Scott Parker in a rush. He wants the game to keep going at this pace. His side on top, but the game remains level.
Yeah, Millwall need to hang on in there. They're just starting to look a little bit tired. They do, however, look dangerous when Burnley have set pieces, because when they do clear it, they do leave bodies up the pitch. Just need one of those attacks just to happen for them.
Anthony just runs out of play. Well, it looks very much, doesn't it, right now, as if Luton's time in the division could be coming to an end. They are 4-1 down. Level on points with Hull City, who are just above the dotted line. Will have a far superior goal difference. 1-1 between Portsmouth and Hull down at Fratton Park, so that could change as well. Might be given a reprieve, Luton, if Portsmouth were to find a second goal. So how does Alex Neil approach this final 30 minutes of the Championship season? The side on the back foot right now, and a lot of it down to the energy of that man, Jayden Anthony. Strong challenge goes in from Saville.
So many big performers for Millwall today. Saville spoke about him before the game about how his aggression in midfield will be important. He's delivered that. George Honeyman on the right-hand side has made so many tackles. And just look at these Millwall fans in fine voice.
8th in the table right now, but it would all change with a goal. If Millwall can retake the lead, it would propel them into 6th place. It is tantalisingly close for them. As two right now is the Championship title for Burnley. Both teams need a goal. Sheffield United with the equaliser against Blackburn as Anthony finds Hannibal. Relentless running from him. Anthony with the chance, and he didn't catch it cleanly. The last touch came off a Millwall player. It will be a Burnley corner.
Once again, this left-hand side, Kramer is at 6 and 7. You see he's looking everywhere to see where Anthony is. He's drifted off the back of him. Lovely pick out for him, and once again, it's just a finishing from Burnley which has let them down.
Corner taken short and taken quickly. Lovely feet. Still going here, fired towards goal. Bodies in the way, Hannibal. Just going to clip one in, it's helped on, and at the back post was Barnes. The offside flag has gone up. I think he left a bit on George Evans as well. Goalkeeper stays down. Scott Parker wants more of this from his team.
Yeah, positive stuff from Burnley. Millwall defending for their lives. George Evans, he's not offside actually there. From the second flick he is. But George Evans has to be brave. He knows he's going to get clattered. Gets an important hand on it. Crashes against the post afterwards. He's had another terrific game.
He really has so much pressure upon him. Here today, the 19-year-old in goal for Millwall, who's had to step in at the end of the season with so much at stake. Players being applauded as they come over to the touchline to get some instruction from Scott Parker. Well. Preston now 2-0 up at Ashton Gate against Bristol City. And for Luton, well, they are desperately hoping that Portsmouth can find a second goal because they're getting thrashed at the Hawthorns. What is going on there with their season on the line? It looks as if George Evans will be okay. It was a very strong challenge by Ashley Barnes. I think the arm was out as well. Too much damage on the goalkeeper. Change will be made now by Millwall. Luke Cundle is going to come on. But Denore makes way.
He's been brilliant, Denore has. But fresh legs, and a little bit more creativity, because as it stands, especially with that Bristol City result, a goal will put Millwall in the playoffs, and that Premier League dream is staying alive. So they're going to have to find a little bit of quality in that final third, because they've had moments in this second half but haven't been able to take advantage of them, and they're hoping that Cundle might be the one to be able to do that.
They needed help, they're getting help, but can they find a way to win here at Turf Moor? Straight into the action is Luke Cundle, and it's a good ball out wide to find Aziz. Cundle continues his run. Brownhill gets back. O'Byrne waiting in the middle. Silva was the target, it was a bad ball as Barnes does his defensive work and steps in. Hannibal comes out on top, and now Burnley are on their way here. Anthony. Lucas Perez charging on the overlap. It's a clever ball back to Hannibal. His effort goes straight at George Evans. Brilliant move from Burnley.
Once again, everything until the final moment is excellent from Burnley. The pace at what they travel with the ball, how quickly they can unlock the defence. But once again, it's a poor finish. They've had enough chances in this second half to get themselves not only in the lead but out of sight.
Both posts being kicked by Burnley players in the last couple of minutes. They're creating the chances, but they can't find a way so far to get themselves in front. Burnley wanted the game to go on there. Swept out to Anthony, who's in here. Jadon Anthony! Well, it might just be the goal which wins Burnley the title. That's what they're hoping. He's been brilliant here this afternoon. Burnley doing what they can. And they know they'll need help from elsewhere, but it's brilliant from Jadon Anthony. Burnley ahead for the first time this afternoon.
He has been the man of the second half. A magnificent performance so far, but just missing that final moment. But he gets it just right. The pass off the free kick to him is exquisite. The first touch matches it, and then he has to stay calm, he has to stay composed. Looks in the eyes of George Evans and just slides it into the bottom corner. He's the man who has deserved the goal. And is that a championship winning goal?
They desperately hope so inside Turf Moor. Take care of their own business and then see what happens at home park. And after a shaky start, it is Burnley who are now ahead here. And for Millwall, well, no team has scored twice against Burnley in the Championship this season. They have to score 3 times. It's a goal which has felt as if it has been coming. Alan Pace watching on. Is it to be a day of glory for Burnley? It would take them to 100 points. It would see them overhaul leads on this final afternoon. There is still plenty of this game to play. Saville with the strike. Millwall looking to do what Burnley did to them in the first half and find an instant reply.
Yeah, frustrations from George Saville and Millwall. They've been hanging on in there. They've been against the ropes. And that man there might have just provided the knockout blow. But Millwall, they've got the spirit to really fight to the death of this game. And they will do, I'm sure. They just need a moment. They need something to bounce their way. But Burnley have been so good in this second half. The way they've moved the ball, really tired out Millwall. And they've defended courageously. But the quality of the pass into Anthony and the finish was brilliant. Just caught them at a moment where they couldn't get back in their shape quick enough. But that is due to how well Burnley have played in this second half. It's really tired out the legs of those Millwall players.
And this is a sight they don't want to see, with Anthony with the ball once again, and then Hannibal, who's got so much energy as well. Millwall's playoff hopes hanging by a thread. As it stands, Bristol City are going to get away with it. Coventry in 5th. Bristol City in 6th because Blackburn have been levelled up against Sheffield United. Here's Hannibal. They will find themselves in 8th right now. Brownhill, very neatly done, and he gets it back from Anthony. Brownhill strike. Can't find a way through. How many of these Burnley fans now at Turf Moor are starting to watch the Leeds game on their phone? Still being held at Plymouth.
It's really important for Millwall now just to stay in the game. Don't let Burnley get that third goal. Try and take it into the last 5-10 minutes. And if you get a goal, however late it is, then Burnley are going to have to come out and try and get a winner, so there will be opportunities.
Edwards. To Cullen, and Burnley are so good at this, aren't they? Once they get themselves ahead in a game, strangling the opposition, keeping hold of possession, running the legs out of them. Bristol City pulled one back at Ashton Gate, but still trailing that game. And of course, these kind of situations as well, Burnley will use the opportunity to just drain a few seconds off the clock. Perhaps not, as Cullen looks to find Hannibal, and it is going to break his way. Brownhill. Perez let it go. He's got it back here, and he can't link up with anyone inside the penalty area. Back with Brownhill, who holds off Honeyman. Cullen. Lucas Perez. He's going to put one up to the back post where Ashley Barnes is waiting. Back across, pushed out by Evans, and Millwall just about survive. Roberts. Cullen back with Roberts again into the final 20 minutes. In comes the cross. Too much on it, and it's going to run out of play.
Yeah, all Burnley again. Can't quite clear their lines. Millwall had numerous opportunities too. But Alex Neil might be looking to the bench at a few changes, especially on that right-hand side. Kramer's having a real difficult second half against Anthony, and lots of players making diagonal runs in behind him.
Can they get through this storm? No worse off here, Millwall, and then have a real go at it. As we get towards the end of this game, they have to find answers, they have to find solutions. It will be so frustrating for them, won't it, having put together such a brilliant run of form recently, 5 wins in 6, if they are to fall short once again. 8th place finish a couple of years ago, 9th the season before that, 8th 5 seasons ago. So often on the fringes, never quite making it to the playoff party. The flag has gone up.
And after such a terrific first half as well, they should have definitely had 2, if not 3 goals. Be disappointed in the manner they conceded. Should have been going in at half-time 2-1 up at least. It wasn't to be, and you always thought that the opportunity they did miss might come back to haunt them.
Honeyman looks to sweep one forward, and Trafford, who has had very little to do in this second half, comes and claims, yes, that crucial moment that was touching upon the miss by Josh Coburn with the score at 1-1. More than yards from goal. But just couldn't get enough on it. Had to be a goal. And it might just prove to be so costly. Brilliantly brought in by Anthony, who wins the free kick under the pressure from Kramer, and he's calling for the crowd to enjoy themselves, to make a bit more noise. The day right now is going Burnley's way.
Yeah, showing excellent strength there, Jadon Anthony, to hold off Kramer, who's naturally a centre-back. His arms all around him. Anthony was able to manipulate the ball, use his body well.
15 goal involvements for him this season. And equals the best he's had in a league season. The 15 he got for Scott Parker, playing down at Bournemouth. Saville, the ball is on to the far side, and it's a ball which is made as well. In comes the cross, and it was too far in front of Coburn. He's having a difficult day, isn't it, Tristan Kramer? Slightly ahead, as I mentioned, of against home park. Touches it off, and now Josh Cullen can sweep one out towards Anthony. If it were to stay the way that it is now, that would be an interesting couple of minutes, wouldn't it, with Burnley getting the 3 points and then everybody inside Turf Moor waiting to find out just what was going on down at home park. Hannibal makes his way into the Millwall penalty area, looking to get the better of Tanganga. Now Marcus Edwards, and Burnley will have to settle for a corner. Millwall are preparing changes. They have to find a way to turn the tide in this game.
George Saville's been incredible in that Millwall midfield. Once again, it's him tracking into that space, getting the block, really important.
Burnley getting on with things quickly. Hannibal. Into Cullen. Steps in, but they're struggling to find ways out, aren't they, Millwall? As you can see, Bristol City going to level things up at Ashton Gate. Aziz do well to get the better of Hannibal, but he's managed to do that. Brilliant feat from Femi Aziz. Now Sturridge. With Aziz again. Honeyman. He's going to send one in. Brilliant ball to the back post, and Ivanovic couldn't meet it, and Alex Neil can't work out why.
Was it too far over his head? Did he hear a shout? Was it a Burnley player who shouted for it? It's there to go and head, isn't it? Inexplicably ducks out the way. Must have been a shout. I'm not sure it was the dark arts of Burnley, but no Millwall player behind him. And they haven't had many of those moments in the second half, so that would have been so important.
Great ball into the box. To try and get a few more of them in. Tristan Kramer is going to be replaced here. On comes Ryan Leonard.
Replacing number 26, Mihailo
Ivanovic, well, that's his last involvement in the game.
Is number 22, Adamo
Inaku comes on. George Honeyman replaced as well. And Wintle steps out onto the stage. Interesting one that Ivanovic leaves, given the form he's been in recently with the goals that he scored.
Yeah, it is a strange one, because although he won't be covered in glory from that last cross into the box, he is dangerous from those situations. He does get on the end of things extremely well, whether it's a poacher's finish like his first goal this afternoon, or whether it's in the air. He's very strong. And he is the man you'd want on one of the end of those chances.
Aziz looking to take the fight to Burnley. Leonard's ball in, flicked away. And they've got some new energy out there now, Millwall. But can they turn that energy into finding an equalising goal? Anthony sends it back to Trafford. He's going to break in the middle of midfield for Ryan Wintle. Out of play, Egan Riley. Burnley changes coming as well. Jeremy Sarmiento, who scored twice after coming on off the bench at Queen's Park for Rangers last week to double his tally for the season. And also going to bring on Lyle Foster. So Ashley Barnes takes plenty of applause from all around Turf Moor. It might be his final appearance for the club. His contract running down, a player who loves this club and whose supporters love him. A club record 4 promotions in his spells here. He came back to the club from Norwich midway through the season. And now he'll watch on as Burnley edge closer to another championship title. On come Foster, on come Sarmiento. Marcus Edwards also replaced. Just a quick word on Ashley Barnes. If this is to be his last day, his last game for Burnley, he's had some time with the club over the years, isn't he?
Yeah, what a way to go out as well if it finishes with them lifting that championship trophy. Burnley fans absolutely love him. And even at his age, showed today why he can be so important, why he's a good asset to any football club at this level. Led the line extremely well, linked up play in that first half in particular, the way he received it in pockets and spread it out wide to Marcus Edwards time and time again.
Ashley Barnes said that it was, and you just saw Alan Pace, who rang him up in January very much out of the blue and asked him if he might be interested in a return. He said his words were, "Please get me back to Burnley." It hasn't gone too badly, has it? Millwall have got just over 10 minutes to save their season, to keep it alive. Can they set up a frenetic finish here at Turf Moor? Just one bit of momentum they need to find. Great ball in, towering header! Tipped over the top by Trafford to deny Jay Cooper. Well, he met it so well. The offside flag, though, has gone up.
He wasn't to know. Terrific header from Cooper, but the reactions, how quickly he got that right arm up. Did a wonderful season, James Trafford, just showing his goalkeeping ability, reactions to tip the ball over the bar. It wouldn't have counted, but still, excellent goalkeeping.
I think he was many people's favourite, wasn't he, to be named the EFL Championship Player of the Season, an award which was won by Gustavo Harmer. It's that night here when he saved 2 penalties against Sunderland. Remarkable save that he made at Vicarage Road against Watford when Burnley were 1-0 down on Good Friday, and just seconds later they got themselves level. Scott Parker values him so highly. He's a special goalkeeper with huge potential. Just see the dotting around, can't we, now, of those fluorescent jackets all around the pitch, which means they're preparing perhaps that it might be a very special afternoon here for Burnley, but it is effectively out of their hands. Still Plymouth 1, Leeds United 1 down at Home Park. They're into the final 10 minutes there as well. Just gone about their business this season, Burnley, haven't they, with no nonsense. They didn't catch the eye perhaps through the first half of the season. They weren't scoring plenty of goals, but they were picking up wins, and they've just got better and better as the season's gone on. 32 games unbeaten coming into today.
They're just a very efficient football team. And they do it in such a unapologetic way. The way they defend, people have maybe given them a little bit of criticism for maybe not being exciting enough, but I think that's a bit of a myth when you look at the way they play. In particular, the back end of the season, they've really dispatched a lot of teams with some excellent quality going forward, real team effort in the way they defend. But I said before the game, the way they are so organised and structured, it will give them a fighting chance next year. And it's almost really important that they started that journey now, and hoping that obviously they got promotion, which they did, potentially win the league, but it sets them up really for next season.
Millwall running out of time, still believing. Best of balls forward, and it's one which is dealt with by Lucas Pires in that Burnley defence. Well, it's been so well oiled, so well organised all season, and the offside flag has gone up. Another change coming. Macaulay Langstaff is going to be thrown on here as Millwall need a saviour.
Substitution for Millwall, replacing number 20.
Most feels around the championship over the last 10 minutes that it's all just calmed before the storm of the final few minutes. We've had goal updates throughout the afternoon, but that's just all quietened down recently. Where's the drama going to come?
Substitution for
Burnley change coming as well. Josh Lauren will come on. Hannibal, he's had a brilliant afternoon and he's had a brilliant end to the season. Become a regular starter for Scott Parker's team.
Is number 29, Josh Lauren.
He's had a terrific afternoon. Hannibal, standing ovation, makes sense though. Josh Lauren coming out in some legs into that midfield now to try and see this game out. On the other hand, Millwall, real final roll of the dice and attacking change. George Savile I spoke about numerous times today, has been excellent, but throwing Macaulay Langstaff on to hopefully find a goal.
Hannibal was just awarded the player of the match inside the stadium, and you could see the reception he got from the fans, but also from his teammates down there on the bench. He's clearly a very well-liked personality within that tight Burnley changing room. And the Millwall equaliser would throw it all open. It would inject some hope for them. We've seen some quite ridiculous things happen on the final day of seasons before, and you never know. It's what Millwall have to keep believing. Can they create a bit of chaos?
The three strikers on the pitch. Jake Cooper staying forward from that last free kick. Starting to show some intention of really going for it, which they have to do now. If they do get a goal, we'll be in for an incredible final few minutes.
Clock continues to tick down. Leeds are laying absolute siege to the Plymouth goal. They've had 23 attempts at goal in the game and they've had 80% possession. It might be 1-1, but Plymouth haven't had a shot on target in that game, but they are holding leads. Burnley are edging closer to a second championship title in 3 years. A reminder, this is how it looks right now as we enter the final 4 minutes of the season. Burnley on 100 points, and as you saw for Millwall, it's agonising after 46 games. Right now, they are going to just miss out once again. Anthony. Here comes the cross, it's away by Cooper. Here's Jayden Anthony's goal, going to win the title for Burnley. They're looking to add a third here, looking to cut the ball back, but Millwall with bodies back inside the box. Sturge looks to get it away. 3 minutes left to play.
Yeah, the fresh legs of Josh Lauren driving in behind. Nearly gets his ball across. Sturge gets caught out. It's Cooper who makes that block. And Sturge will be relieved to see it go out for a goal kick.
Supporters entering the playing surface is a criminal offence. Please stay in your seat.
Foster. This is all that Burnley need to do now in these final few minutes. Keep hold of the ball, manage these final few moments. We can't see what's going on down at Home Park, but you can just imagine how much those Plymouth fans are relishing the chance to spoil someone else's party. It's what football fans are like. If it's not going to be their day, but you've got the chance to spoil someone else's, and or can Leeds find a way through? Burnley desperately hoping that will not be the case. I think there'll be some magnum or two of champagne being sent down to Devon from Burnley if they can hold out. 2 minutes left here. Anthony. Still Anthony, and he's going to go for the far corner. Just couldn't wrap his boot enough, and it's a comfortable save for George Evans.
Yeah, absolutely. Anthony once again, so he's been the difference in this second half. But once again, really competent handling from Evans. I think he's had a terrific game in that Millwall goal. And going back to Home Park, I can believe you me, if you're a player who plays at Plymouth, if you're a fan, you do not want to see another team come to your stadium and win the trophy. Absolutely not. So they'll be doing all they can to hold on to that draw. These Burnley fans be hoping they do.
Aziz goes for goal, not a bad hit, touched away by Trafford. Well, they need a spark, and Femi Aziz so nearly provided one for them. Millwall corner.
Yeah, I wasn't sure it was the right option at the time. He had support down the right-hand side. He goes for goal, good strike, had to be saved.
Millwall having to get on with things quickly. The penalty box loaded. In comes the cross, the header down from Cooper. It was a chance. He's going to come back in again. Fired towards goal, pinballing around. The final touch was a Burnley touch. Another Millwall corner.
Yeah, big opportunities for Millwall. Just need to keep getting the ball in the box. Jake Cooper had a free header. He's the man you'd want on it as well.
Oh, it's Burnley facing pressure, and it's a poor ball in. Sails beyond everyone. The day is set to end in frustration, it seems, for Alec Neil. I won't think about it right now, but this end to the season at least gives them a platform to build on next season as they look to get themselves to the Premier League.
Absolutely, they showed enough quality in the last 10-15 games that they can go and compete at the top end of the Championship. When you look at their budget they have, it's miraculous that they got themselves in that playoff picture. But even if they don't win today, they put in a terrific performance, courageous in defeat.
Fans taking as much interest in what's going on here as what is going on elsewhere. Millwall flooding forwards once again here. No free kick coming. It was Imaku who went down. Burnley just need to keep the ball at this end of the pitch. So there were 4 minutes added on at the end of this game. Just ticking into stoppage time right now at Home Park. For Millwall, perhaps now they have given up on a dramatic turnaround here. Scott Parker pacing around his technical area. They are believing. Crazy to think that they had the potential to reach 100 points and it wouldn't be enough to bring them the title. Josh Lauren does well. Sarmiento, he goes down on the edge of the area. Free kick in a dangerous position here. That is it now, surely, for Millwall and Burnley. They're going to run as much time off the clock as they possibly can here.
Yeah, the fresh legs of Sarmiento, quickness of the turn. Millwall out on their feet. Put so much into this game. But Burnley have just been too good.
Leeds United have scored at home park in stoppage time. Oh, they've left it late, but it's going to be disappointment for Scott Parker and for Burnley. All of that pressure has paid off. Manor Solomon, a minute into stoppage time. Leeds have got out of jail down in Devon. And that has punctured the mood here at Turf Moor. It's still a day of celebration, but for so long it seemed as if Burnley were going to end the day lifting high the Championship trophy. Brownhill over this free kick. Up steps Josh Brownhill, another goal for him. Burnley signing off for the season and saying goodbye to the Championship in style. There is an air still of frustration around Turf Moor because of what's just happened down at home park, but for Burnley, they are going to reach 100 points this season, and for Josh Brownhill, well, he's had a season that he should never forget.
Yeah, the talisman, their captain, finishes the game off, finishes the season off. Terrific hit, just wrong steps, George Evans, who hasn't done a lot wrong, but he went a little bit early, couldn't get back across his goal. Terrific hit, and that's his 18th goal of the season from midfield. Fabulous from the Burnley captain.
Well, it's been an incredible campaign from Burnley, and the ultimate goal was to get themselves back to the Premier League. A magnificent 100 points posted. And Josh Brownhill, I think, here keen to make the point. We should still be celebrating. The trophy would have just been a bonus to cap the season for them. He was booked as well there, Josh Brownhill, for his celebrations. The game at home park will go on after we've finished here. So there is still the potential for a late twist. See that Solomon goal in stoppage time, taking Leeds back above Burnley in the table.
100 points and not win the league is incredible, shows the quality of the top two this season.
First time it will have happened in English football that two teams from the same division get to 100 points. And I can tell you that Plymouth just came very, very close to an equalising goal in that game down at home park. Burnley end the season on 100 points, and they wait now to find out if there will be a late twist to the tale down at home park. For so long this afternoon they led the way in the Championship, but events elsewhere look as if they've taken that title dream away from them. A magnificent campaign from Scott Parker's side after winning an instant return to the Premier League. A difficult game for them today against the Millwall team, who came here with hopes of ending the season in the top six. Jayden Anthony with a brilliant goal 20 minutes into the second half. That in between two goals from Josh Brownhill. Millwall's dream ends here today, their season over. And for Burnley's players, well, there is, as you can see, a touch of disappointment that there won't be a trophy being lifted here. As things stand,